Hello, welcome to another Kyle Connor YouTube channel video. A little behind the scenes, if you will. This is something really cool. We are here visiting our sponsor for out-of-spec reviews. They're Eaton, so they make electrical breakers and superchargers, differentials, electric motor equipment, battery pack contactors. Basically, I'm sure you're either driving a car or living in a house with some Eaton equipment. And if you're not, the electrical supply to your house is probably powered by some Eaton content. They're a huge, major corporation. Behind me is their proving grounds, specifically their vehicle proving grounds. We are in Marshall, Michigan, which is directly between Chicago and Detroit along I-94. And we came here to learn and to go on a tour and also get some ideas about what we should bring back to NC Car, which is our home proving grounds in North Carolina. You guys know that we just moved to that vehicle proving grounds in North Carolina to do our own YouTube videos and testing. And I've been visiting a few different proving grounds, Honda, Hyundai, and now Eaton, to learn what obstacles and what, surfaces they have and what type of testing they do on each. We are also here to drive some really cool cars and check out some interesting things. So in this video, we're going to take you on a full tour of the ground surfaces here at the Eaton Proving Grounds and look at some slope grades. We're going to look at some of their differential specific testing applications. They have an oval. And just join us if you care about these types of things. If you'd like to see how vehicles are engineered, a lot of the component level engineering is done at facilities like this behind me. Very, very rarely are these able to be shown outside of very small groups of NDA'd people. And Eaton is so cool. They're like, yeah, if you want to film the facility, send it. They even have on-site lodging, which Tijmen, you and I stayed in last night.
It was nice.
It was so cool. So they've got some really neat, surfaces, buildings, things going on. My buddy Kylar, not Kyle, but Kylar runs the facility. So you'll have a video of Kyle and Kylar taking you on a tour of the Eaton Proving Grounds. We are using this Eaton-owned Rivian R1T Gen 1. This has so much Eaton parts content in it, gear trains, electrical stuff. It's awesome. So we're going to jump in. We'll say, hey, Kylar, welcome to the channel.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Dude, thanks for taking us on a tour of this place. It's so nice of you guys to open up the facility to the outsiders.
Not a problem. Yeah, we're happy to have you and love showing off all the capabilities that we have here.
Yeah, so can you talk a little bit about the area that we're in, Marshall, Michigan? Why is this the place?
Yeah, so Marshall, Michigan, just south of 94. Really close to 69 as well, so it's kind of a good middle spot. And yeah, you can see there on the map, really good spot between Detroit and Chicago, off that main corridor there. Eaton itself, so we started this facility in '72 is when everything officially launched. Some of the buildings have been created since then and put up since then. We have 636 acres here for the proving grounds. So yeah, we'll do some drive around and check out all the different areas. Cool,
very nice. So of course, Tijmen's also joining us, and so is our buddy Sam. And Sam, of course, runs the NC Car facility that we operate out of. So very curious to see how Eaton has used their acreage, because it's similar in size to our home, but y'all have got some crazy facilities. So looking forward to this.
Perfect. Yeah, well, head on in if that's good with you.
Yeah, would love to. Oh, I can see Eaton did not subscribe to the Connect Plus, so no satellite maps.
You got a budget somewhere.
That's all right. They can spend the money without a spec instead.
All right, so as we're coming up the main drive here, we do actually have a waterway. So this connects actually to the Kalamazoo River. So it's a unique, I'd say a facility for sure, just from the wildlife perspective. I mean, you could see the amount of cranes and geese that we have here. There are no shortage of them for sure.
Yeah, the cranes are super cool. That's something that I just have not seen too often. And then you also have a ton of deer that we've seen all over the place.
Yes, yep. We have a bunch of deer. We have some higher fences around the track just to help from the safety perspective. We do have a fence that goes all the way around, but as you can see, they could sneak in from the gate. And then also there's some spots that we've seen them jump the fence. So as we're heading up, this is our first building. This is what we call our admin building. In here we have both engineers, technicians, some of the support functions, but then largely do torque differential testing, as well as supercharger testing out of this building. We also have our
Level 2 charging. There's your bolt.
Yep,
Shout out.
there's the vault. Yeah,
Nice.
So yeah, we have employee-facing level 2 charging here. We're looking to get some more potentially for the other building as well. And then we do have a DC fast charger that is mostly commercial or customer-facing, but we do use for employees in a pinch.
Yeah, well, thanks for letting us charge our Lightning off of this. So while we're shooting the tour, we're topping that up, which will be great. And this is an Eaton DC fast charger, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah,
it is. Yep.
It's about 150 kilowatts or so. We've featured this in another video before. I should also mention, if you go to the link in the description of this video, we shot a tour earlier today with you, Kylar, going through the insides of both of these buildings. And while they look like brick buildings on the outside, there are insane levels of dyno stuff going on in there.
Yes, we have between both the buildings, depending on how you define them, there's roughly 100 different test cells and test stands that we use. So the products that we touch in Marshall really touch on most of the mobility Eaton related products. So
And garage space in there, right?
yeah, garage space. So that's mostly inventory storage. So especially from the torque differential standpoint, we'll have different axles that we'll use to do various testing in. Axles are big, they need big space for storage. We do have some other barns in the back there too. So the building that we're passing slowly by right now is our tech building. In there is largely our new e-mobility lab. And then we also support valve train component testing. And then on the far side of that building, we have a machine shop that does a lot of custom fixturing, prototypes, those types of things.
Yeah, very cool.
So we'll head out straight to this way to start. We'll go to our off-road area, and then we can show the lodge real quick. And then our track area is over here that we'll show in a little bit as well.
Yeah, the lodge is kind of one of the most unique features that we've seen because, you know, when folks come to visit us at NC Car in the U.S., for example, or in North Carolina, you know, they've got to go into town and it's not that far away. But like here in Marshall, when this place was built, there was nothing around here.
Yeah, correct. So I believe the lodge was built in 77, 78, around there. And the intent really was when we bring customers on site or when we have senior leadership on site, we have a space for them to stay without having the worry of trying to find somewhere. So just, you know, from that whole amenity piece and in hospitality, we think it's a really good thing to upkeep and keep going. The customer piece, so to touch on that, we do use the proving grounds and leverage the space for external customers to come on site and use that space for various testing. So we can go from renting out the entire track facility to specific obstacles as needed and work through a lot of the details there. So if you're interested, definitely check out, you know, contact us at Eaton. Between myself, Scott Kennedy, who's the site lead, and Stacy, who is one of the admin and customer experience center admins, we'll get you set up.
Yeah, the three of you guys combined, just a real dream team of running this facility. I mean, it should also be commended. The folks will see throughout the entire way the grounds are kept is really unbelievable as well. You have so much acreage. I heard somewhere 80 acres of mowing that's needed.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I don't know the exact number there. But yeah, we do see some deer. Take a little rest here. We do our own internal groundskeeping, mostly because of the IP and camouflage vehicles that we will see from external customers here.
Right, you guys cleared out the facility for us, which was super nice, so thanks for doing that. Stacy really made sure that the lodge was amazingly well kept for us. So we had our own rooms. Some of them were updated. They felt great. We slept awesome here, and this is something so unusual to see at any test facility. You have this building, and we should definitely go inside and show everyone around.
For sure.
Because I've been lucky enough to go to a ton of test tracks, and maybe you'll see like a cot or a little place to sleep, but this is like a hotel or like in between like fishing cabin and Bass Pro Shops vibes.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
That's a good way to put it. So yeah, there's part of it that still feel like the 70s when it was built, and then there's some modern amenities as well.
Yeah, let's go check this out. By the way, the Rivian that we're in is a Gen 1 dual motor, and it's really a nice vehicle. Lots of Eaton stuff in there, right?
Yes. Yep. So the gear set and intermediate gears we use on all the different platforms. So whether it's the 2, 3, or 4 motor variant.
Yep. Very cool. And this is the lodge, your own private. This is just so cool.
Yeah. So in here we have 6 different bedrooms. So there's 3 that we call our 3 upper, and then we have 3 lowers. So yeah, you can walk in.
Yeah, I'll show everyone where I stayed last night, which was really a great experience. And so this was the room. You've got, you know, a bed, you've got a hangout area, a little office space. You've got these deer that freaked me out because I looked outside. I was like, wow, what is that? But nope, just a statue. And Tijmen's wondering if he should put his sheets away.
We'll take care of all of that.
Yeah, thank you so much. Great hot water. There was a little sign in there that said it might take a few minutes.
It was instant.
Instant, absolutely. Maybe Sam brought all the hot water up because he was up before us. And they even labeled our rooms with our names. How about that?
Yeah, very nice.
Very nice. All right, let's show around the other parts of the facility.
So we'll start up here real quick. So we don't use it a whole lot currently, but we do have a commercial kitchen in here as well. So we have a cafeteria with a site or a staff on site in our admin building. But we do have the ability, and this was built initially with that commercial kitchen, so we could do catering and cooking and prepping of food up here.
And if, you know, an external customer or even like an automotive media outlet, like I'm thinking like it would be great for us to use this facility to shoot a comparison test. We'd be able to also rent out the lodge for that need.
100%. Yep. 100%.
There is nothing more convenient than staying at the test location.
Yes.
No transit time. You wake up and you're to work. And this is a great hangout spot for some parties. Huge fireplace, dude.
Functional too, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like 6-foot logs in here.
Nice.
We'll head down here. The kind of second level here is where we have our lower three. So these are 3 more rooms. These ones, unlike the top, do have 2 double beds.
Okay.
The top ones have desks, which, you know, is just a little bit more modern. So we renovated those 3. These 3 would be in the future.
Yeah.
And then if we go further downstairs, we also have some more bathrooms. And then this is where we really use from the marshal standpoint, and then customers coming on site and leveraging the facility.
Oh, wow.
We have the full Teams capable screens that we can use for conference room and sharing of screens.
Yeah, those are no joke.
And then pool table, card table, and then again a bar and all of that.
Yeah,
So,
bring your own beer, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
BYOB, yep.
Cool. And just so everyone can see an overhead of the facility, this was the main gate that we came in?
Correct. Yep. So kind of walk you through. Here's the main gate in our admin building that we showed. We went along this way and kind of highlighted the tech building over here. We do have a walking path for employees that loops around. It's all gravel.
Cool.
And then a maintenance barn and some storage barns over there. We came back this way, and this is the pond that we passed with the lodge kind of hidden in the trees here. So off to the south, or up on this picture, we have our off-road area. So we have what we call our wagon wheel. We have varying degrees of grades, all gravel, both for commercial and in light vehicle applications or testing. And then we also have our large grade, which is a 15% up and then 8% down. And you can keep going back and forth on that.
Right, you've got a little turnaround spot right there. And I actually drove the Battle electric semi-truck up and down there. And that was wild, dude, to go up that steep of a hill with that thing.
Yep, for sure. And yeah, so there's teardrops on either end, so you can loop and run that all day long. And then our oval has 2 lanes. They're banked. The outer lane, I think passenger speed limit is 70. That oval is 1.5 miles. And then our internal rally course is dirt and gravel. That is also 1.5 miles with some potential offshoots and different turns.
I like that there was somehow a business case to build a rally course.
Yeah, they're always,
Yeah, that's great. That's really cool.
Down here we have our lower skid pad, so you can see the way it's set up too off the oval. You can come off with speed and do various lane change or braking maneuvers. We also have basalt tiles to test out varying friction, modifying devices and how we want to test there. We have our upper skid pad. I don't think we went on that today, but we did go near it. And so on here we have sprinklers that line the outside, and so we'll wet that surface down if we need to do testing there. And then we also have our small grades area. So we did do some, you'll see in a different video, I believe.
Yep, on the overlanding channel, yep.
Yep, we have a 60 degree or 60% grade rise to go up. We can do various testing. That's got a steel plate too. So we can wet that down and really do some differential testing. And then we have a 20% with rollers, some varying twist stitch, all cement, all on road. So yeah, that's kind of the overview of the campus, and we can go and check it out.
That's super cool. And then you've leased this out to a local farmer, right?
Correct. Yeah, less land for us to maintain, and it's a good deal for the farmer as well.
Yeah, very cool. Nice. Well, thanks for showing us this. We'll hop back in the Rivian, and we'll probably pick up with everyone somewhere back over at this intersection.
All right, so now we're gonna head off to our off-road area. we'll go by our large grade that I just mentioned in the lodge there. Here we have security pucks too, so there's sensors up here. The gates will open once it senses those pucks, but it just helps from employees that are lost, or maybe if people coming on site that weren't familiar with the property. Rivian crossing the large grade, going to the off-road service area.
All right, let's see how quickly these birds can move. They're really cool looking, aren't they?
They are.
They're super cool.
They do a number on the lawn. That's for
I
sure.
can imagine.
They
Yeah.
can tear those up.
So we're heading back. I guess this would be the oval right here on the other side of this gate.
Yep, this is our oval, and we'll go on that in a little bit here. We have a service drive that takes us back to our off-road area, and then this is the large grade that we had talked about earlier. So you can see a green light here, and we'll have a sensor. So just from the safety side of things, we're not having a vehicle go up or come back down if there's one on the other side.
Right.
Because it is blind, it just helps from the safety side of things there. And then, yeah, as we're going, you can see the speed limits for the inside and outside curves for the oval. And then we might be able to sneak peek a little bit from here, some of the rally course internal.
Yeah, it's beautiful out here. Sending it.
And then we also do have a lot of protected wetlands on the campus as well.
So that's what a lot of this would be here.
Yep.
You can see the rally course right there. That's awesome.
Yep, there's the entrance. We'll hit that up in a minute here. All right, so here's the other side of the large grade. You can see the 8% coming down there. And then this is the teardrop loop for the drivers to do that loop and then head back up and over.
Yep, so they can just go back and forth over the grade constantly.
Yep, correct. And then over here, we'll do a loop through this whole process, or the area here. Over to the right, we do have you can see a sign here, a pond route. So that'll go up and around the pond and is kind of more of a marshy type of a route that we can take. We also, not gonna go over it in this, but we do have some more military, like Hummer application obstacles over here we can show. So one of them being this boulder course.
Oh, cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, so the camera may not do it justice, but I mean, some of these boulders are massive.
Oh, yeah.
So being able to rock crawl and go through that.
Yeah, look at these over here. I mean, that's pretty crazy.
Yep.
That is all skid plate testing rocks for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so some good applications, again, more military or Hummer related items for that. And then we have a swamp course that is down here. So that'll definitely get you more in the mucky, mushy type of environment.
Oh yeah, interesting.
The high side here is on the opposite side of this, we actually have a 40 or 45%, and then a 60% grade, all gravel. So this is kind of a good way to show our wagon wheel that I showed in the lodge. So you can kind of see the peak here. There's a lot of different slopes and grades that lead up to that. Again, all off-road and gravel. We'll use dump trucks testing and a lot of commercial related vehicles on this as well. So it's not just passenger vehicle testing for this. So.
And maybe for folks who haven't watched the other videos, maybe you can speak to a little bit of the applications that Eaton is involved in terms of vehicles.
Yeah, for sure. So the commercial side of things, it's much more transmission and clutch based products. So we have a joint venture as well with Cummins, an Eaton Cummins joint venture, and we go through the transmission testing through there. So we have a Galesburg, Michigan site as well. That's about 30 minutes west of here. And then clutch testing, we're going to be doing some more of that in Marshall in the near future here. But from the commercial side, that's some of the bigger items, or the more traditional items. We do also, and I think Mark Van Wingerden covered this in one of the other videos too, from the e-mobility side of things, some of the megawatt charging applications. And different potentials there. We do have a course that rounds, so if you're just trying to get mileage accumulation, it's just a gravel road that circles this whole off-road area. So again, if you're testing dump trucks or different things that just need miles, you can just do loops there. This is what we call our double whammy too. So this is a replica of one of the obstacles out in Moab. This is another one where the camera won't do it justice. If I were to go stand out there, you know, the top of that is near my shoulder.
Yeah, it's a pretty juicy size obstacle, that's for sure.
Yeah. So again, from the articulation and differential testing standpoint, that's the main purpose of that obstacle.
So then the pinwheel, each grade, it goes up in severity. Is that how that works?
Yeah, there's just varying degrees. So I think as we're going around, you'll see 5, 10, 15, 20, 25% grades. And so depending on what application, you could go up, down, start, stop, you know, forward, reverse on any one of those grades.
And that's perfect for like taking a, you know, 30,000 pound dump truck and just starting it at a 5% grade, dial that in, then go up to a 10.
Yeah, for sure. And then so we have, you know, transmission hold capabilities as well. So you will actually start or stop on the grade, let the transmission hold with all of that weight in there, and then proceed.
I tried that with the battle truck. It had that.
Yeah.
That was really a cool feature for sure.
Yep.
You've also got some stair steps over here, each getting tougher with each step.
Yeah,
so that's kind of
these
nice.
They're lined, you can see on the front with some 6x6. And we have some wood in there to help offset, but basically it's half of a foot, 12 inches, foot and a half, up to 2 foot. So the intent here is that you have to approach those straight on.
Right.
So this is really a good ground clearance, approach angle, departure angle.
And then a little rock road as well.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, so that's one a little more feasible to do with more vehicles.
Yeah. Then this is a sand pit over here, I guess.
Yeah, so this it's actually, you can see the cement surroundings, and it's actually 4 foot deep of sand.
Oh, wow.
So from one standpoint, it helps us maintain the sand that we want in there. But it also helps, you know, from the drainage perspective, it doesn't do the wash away. So we maintain the sand that we need and want in there. It's a very fine sand. So unless you are airing down your tires on a very capable vehicle, you're going to have trouble getting through there.
Right. That's really cool.
And then off to the left here, we have more sand, and then this is more of a gravel dirt mixture. But what we can do here is really get that rutted out, and that'll resemble, you know, a construction site or off-road site, where again, both passenger and commercial vehicles can use that just to get rutted in and see how the traction holds. And then the last obstacle we have is kind of coming up close. We're not gonna be able to see it from the road here, but I believe there might be another video, is our woods course. So it kind of resembles, you know, a northern Michigan 2-track type of a course. There are some rock climbs and obstacles to go through that as well, but more of the tight quarters, tight turn type of an application.
Yeah, we showed that also in the out-of-spec overlanding video. I don't know when everything will go up, but it's like, you know, typical, like, let's go off-roading with the buddies, maybe go hunting or something like that type of track.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good avenue for demoing and showcasing, and from like the marketing standpoint too, with customers potentially launching vehicles here, we can use the space for that as well.
Right, yeah, it's a good photogenic place. So that's the off-road course, super cool.
Yep.
So what's next now?
We'll take a little bit of a drive. We'll go past the test track garage, and then we'll get into some of the on-road items.
So how much of the activity here at the Proving Grounds is Eaton-based activity versus customer-driven activity?
It's a good question. So a lot of the Eaton-based, you know, some of that's our partnership with our Eaton Cummins joint venture group. So out of Galesburg, the engineering there, they'll do the testing for the truck and transmission testing here. That's probably the most of the Eaton side. The strictly Eaton products that we'll test is going to be more on the passenger car, so more differential type tests.
Right.
So we have our spin bar and our obstacles that we can go through in that regard. But
yeah, so if you're doing like drivetrain calibration, especially low to medium speed drivetrain calibration, this is a great facility to come and use, because you've got all the obstacles needed for split mu, you know, individual wheel that just needs to get the power down. This is a really cool spot for that type of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. It basically everything but the high speed type of testing we can handle out of this site.
Is this used for anything over here?
I am not sure what that is, to be honest with you.
I know it's got a little concrete pad, but not sure if it's anything.
I think it's just a utilities house.
Yeah, could be.
We also have, so you'd mentioned, you know, who uses the facility. We also have external customers. I mentioned that a little bit earlier. That's a decent amount of the traffic in the amount of testing that happens on the facility as well.
And the split between commercial, sort of Class 8 semi-truck and passenger vehicles, what would you say is that split?
I would say majority is commercial. I don't know exactly, maybe like a 60-40, somewhere
So
around
a
there.
lot of truck testing happening here.
Yes, yeah, a lot of mileage accumulation over multiple shifts. You can see the trucks going there.
Yeah, I mean, we were last night going into the cabin and they were out here ripping trucks around.
Yeah.
And like I saw that truck doing a test cycle where maybe they're doing a bunch of wide open throttle starts on it at full load.
Yeah, and because they're on there right now, I'm not sure if we'll be able to do a lap around the track.
Yeah, we showed it in the battle video on Out of Spec Reviews, so if we can't get out there, that's totally fine. But everyone gets the idea. It's like a 2-lane and just goes around with some banked corners over there. And you can do about 50 miles an hour through the bank or so.
Yep.
So this is the entrance to Oval, I guess?
Yeah, this is our on-road section. We also have our test track garage back here that we'll see.
We just rode in this thing.
Here's Dan. So yeah, coming up here, we have the oval to the right. Again, you can see the cement barrier, but can't really get a good view of the track itself from here.
Right.
And then we do have the track garage here, and we'll be going around that here.
There's a guy just ripping a truck out there. You can also see high-powered DC charging, which is great to have.
Yep, especially for the commercial testing capabilities here. Yeah, from the commercial side, that really helps. And then we do have a level 2 charger out here as well. And then to the right here is our lower skid pad. This has got the basalt tiles that are in between those cones. Might be a little hard to pick up on the video here.
Yeah, I think we can see him right there.
Yep. And then we also have a scale, so we'll load up our own trailers with weights to make sure we're testing at the proper weights for whatever application we're testing.
Super cool. Yeah, and everything's beautiful around here. I mean, I can't get over how nicely kept the facility is.
Yes.
You guys didn't just mow it for us, did you?
No, it is like this all the time.
That's amazing.
It is a good time of year too, with the leaves starting to change.
Yep.
Yeah, extra pretty around here.
And do you use this road for any testing whatsoever? I can see kind of a testing surface there, maybe.
That is the oh no, I went too far.
Oh, that's the runoff. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So from back there, you could do the coming off the oval and do the maneuvers.
Yeah, the high-speed braking.
Yeah, you can see the mounts from this angle of just in case. That'll help catch you and slow you down before you get to the...
And we're talking about 80,000-pound trucks.
Yeah.
I heard you could run 500,000 pounds out there.
We have before, yes.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So imagine doing a braking test on 500,000 pounds. You would like alter the rotation of the Earth.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess
a lot of weight there.
Every time you do something, it alters the rotation of the Earth a little bit.
Yeah.
Super cool.
And then coming up on the left here is mostly vehicles that we use, some of the dump trucks in applications I talked about a little bit earlier. And then this is where we'll store our trailers and weights for that. And then we also have our own fueling capabilities, so we can fuel up here and then we'll get that refilled. So
these are mostly in-house vehicles that you guys have.
Yeah, whether it's Eaton or the joint venture vehicles, we can house those and keep them here so we're not having to do the transport.
That's really, really cool. Now there's the battle truck that I drove earlier. So that was a really cool experience. Fully electric Class 8, but sort of more for city use, I guess. Yep. And this building is also a workshop space, right?
Correct, yeah. So the big bay, we have 3 different bays. We have residents that will use some of that space as well, externally, and then we also have garage bays that we can use for upfitting or working on equipment or vehicles as we need, but then we also use it for employee engagement events. It's a nice big open space for tables. Rivian to the service drive, heading to small grids. To the left here immediately, you can see some of the washboard. So we have various features and surfaces to hit. Again, if you want to hit different resonances of chassis and tuning of the vehicles and the dynamics of how things are going to hit with the suspension. You can see now we have more drop pits, so you're alternating the tires on each one of these.
Yep, positive and negative surfaces with hard impacts as well.
Yep. The barn up here is we call our spin barn. So inside we have a stainless steel pad that we can wet down and then do engagement testing for our differentials.
Yeah, we went in there earlier, shot a video on the overlanding channel. We'll also overlay what that looks like in there. And that was super cool.
Yep.
Limited slip diff testing.
have a water pit, so we can go, I believe it's up to 3 feet, maybe 4 feet of water. So we can fill that up, and then we can actually fit a semi, a commercial tractor
Oh, wow.
through there too. And then up here, again, kind of another version of the washboard. These ones you can kind of see start straight at different intervals, and then also on an angle at different intervals. So we try to limit when we do these tests, the drivers to, only so many passes per day.
Right.
It does beat up not only the vehicles, but is
the people.
harsher on the people too.
Yeah, some of the real extreme durability ones, I've seen OEs started to use robots to drive the cars around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That makes
just
sense.
instrument them up and just send them out for abuse testing.
Yep.
So now we're going to the grade and performance area. That sounds fun.
Yes. So we'll loop back around here and show the upper skid pad, but first we'll go do a loop through our small grades area. The trailer that you have here is actually a reefer trailer. So we can put vehicles in there, like up to our Ford Raptor that we have for demonstration purposes. We can fit in there.
Really? It can fit in there?
Yeah, and we can actually do, down to, I can't remember the specs of it. It's not as low as some of our temp testing internal to the labs, but we can come down and show the entire vehicle.
In there?
In there.
Oh.
No, sorry, that is not the one. We do have an extra trailer that's not on site currently, but we do
Okay.
have a reefer trailer that we can do that.
That's a really smart way of doing it, because we've been thinking about how to do some thermal chamber testing. Never thought to just put them in a reefer trailer.
Yeah, and then it's right on site, close to the obstacles that you want to test with.
All right, Facebook Marketplace.
Yep.
We got to find one of those.
Here's a good view of our 60-degree approach, or a 60% grade.
Yeah, you can barely walk up that. So that's the same as Daytona's banking we looked up.
Yeah, yep, it's a fun fact. And then to the left here, again, more concrete, and we do have some ramps to really test out that articulation, as well as this immediate ditch right here that's made out of cement. That, depending on the vehicle, you will get wheels lifted.
Right.
So we can do more differential testing as far as, locking versus unlocking and what implications that could have for the traction.
Right. Take a look at out-of-spec overlanding. We ran an F-150 through there with your diff in it,
Yep.
and it was amazing to see what it can do and how quickly limited slips can activate. Another V-ditch here, took the Jeep Gladiator through there. That's a pretty serious V-ditch.
Yes, that, not too many vehicles that we have will go through there cleanly.
Yeah,
or
that's right.
successfully, I'll say.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, and then if we want, I don't know if it'll look good on video, we can approach this nose on. We're not going to go up it, but
Yeah, sure.
that'd be useful.
Just so everyone can get a sense of this hill, because this is
Yeah.
always looks so boring on camera, but then as you get up close, you go, holy moly.
It looks vertical from this viewpoint.
Totally.
Once you get on it, again, it can't do that right now, but once you get on it, all you see is sky. And then
Super
coming down
cool.
again, you can't see anything, so you got to know where you're going for
Totally.
sure to be able to hit these obstacles.
Right, and you've got that skid plate in the middle, or I should say that stainless steel plate, so that you could do a split mu test. Oh, that looked wild with the truck coming right towards us. So basically you can put on a really slippery grade, basically very, very light load on two sets of wheels, and then rely on the diff to pull you up.
Yep,
And that's what
right.
this is all about here.
Yes, so we have the stainless plates again, and then we also have rollers. So this is a 20% grade. And yeah, I think there's on some of the other videos, like you'd mentioned, we can showcase some of the different blocking technologies that we
Yeah,
have.
we learned the darker concrete was actually just to retain heat. So they stain the concrete on purpose, so that in the wintertime, for example, they can get better traction on the other side. That was pretty
Melts
cool.
Faster. Yep.
Yep. Nice little loading ramp.
I believe that's where our reefer trailer normally sits, hence the
Okay, that's probably how you get them in there then. Yep.
And then we do have the ability too for vehicles coming off of the oval to come and then hit the grades. So you can do mileage accumulation and then come and hit these grades. So we have a 3, 5, and 10%.
Right. So for heavy duty applications, this is where it really starts to stress stuff out.
Yeah, for sure. So again, you can come off that track after many miles, come do a stop start test on grade with load and really stress out those components.
That 15% grade with a roller in there is probably a pretty good test surface as well.
For sure. Yep. All right, and then coming up here, again, we have another truck going by us there. We have our upper skid pad. So the small building that we see right next to this, we can use that for training purposes. we'll have companies coming in, and we've even had the state of Michigan too come for various training opportunities.
Very cool.
So we have a speedometer here, so we can make sure you get up to a certain speed.
High score, baby.
Yeah, before you enter the obstacles. We can set up cones on this surface as well, and you can see overhead there's 3 lights.
Yeah.
So the way we can do this is, I guess, a multitude of different ways, but you can come up and set up cone lanes and last minute say this lane or trigger that lane. So it helps from the training perspective of being able to do lane change maneuvers last minute. So
Very
not knowing which way you're going ahead of time.
That is pretty awesome. Love that. Good driver training situation.
Absolutely.
And I love the big sprinklers over there. So they get out pretty far then. I guess you got them both on each side.
Yep. Yeah, we have both sides, and each one of them will go over half. So with both of them going, we'll get the whole surface wetted down.
Wow. Very cool. Yeah, this is a pretty big surface, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
It's got to be like 3 acres, something like that. What do you think, Sam?
Plus 3 acres, yeah. It looks like 2.5, 3 times more than ours.
Yeah, it's pretty nice surface. That's kind of the right size surface to have, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's helpful having the leading up surface too, just to gain speed before you even hit that surface.
Yep.
And from there, we're going to head back to the track garage. So I believe that's majority of the big stuff.
That's amazing. So I really hope everyone goes over to the other channels to check out both the off-road and also especially inside the buildings. The lab space was so impressive to see. This is more for repeatability, mileage accumulation, just running stuff. But for actual like testing to failure, you're doing that inside the lab space.
Correct.
And that is just so cool. Yeah, if any of the viewers have any ideas on what we should do at this facility, I mean, there's certainly opportunity, Kylar mentioned, for us to come and do a comparison test. We would need the speed limits removed on the oval.
There may be exception rules. We'll have to talk that through with Scott a little bit.
Okay, very cool. And then there's also just one last thing we should mention. Scott heads up a committee on actual driver training.
Yes.
So to quantify driver skill level, which multiple proving grounds could adopt. It's a J standard, right?
J3300.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a standard for driver training, and really what we're trying to do is make sure, regardless of site and location, that it's the same standards drivers are being held to. So when you go to a different proving ground or you go to a different site, there's that accreditation that comes with the backing of that standard and the training levels that come with it.
Right. I think it's a really cool program. It's something that Sam and I will talk about, but I'd love for NC Car to adopt and to basically hold folks to a, because when people come to facilities, we're like, we have no idea if you know how to drive or not.
Yeah. Just letting them send it before, the checks before.
You can find out pretty quickly on turn 1 whether they're in the woods or not, but it'd be better to have a good idea before they head out there.
Exactly.
So thank you, Kylar, for the tour. Thank you guys for joining as well. That was super fun. And we are off. So shout out to the Eaton Proving Grounds for inviting us here. And this was a super cool visit. All the other videos will be linked in the description below as they go up. But thanks for watching. See you in another one again soon. Bye-bye.